Hi, my name is Joey Cruz, and I am the founder and CEO of Limitless Lab. We are a social innovation company that started in the Philippines in 2018, but now we are expanding in Southeast Asia. I started my professional career in government in 2014, but before I entered the professional world, no, my educational background is really development communication. And that is how I developed my love for development work and in creating projects, no, that bring about social change. When I started my career in government, I found out that while we have a lot of dedicated public servants, intelligent public servants in the bureaucracy, most of them are hindered when it comes to sparking new ideas or creating innovative solutions within the bureaucracy. Because of my experience in government, that is why when I started my own social impact organization, Limitless Lab now, I made it a point to make public sector innovation as one of our primary advocacies. When it comes to the challenge that I have encountered in my change making and entrepreneurial journey, I would say it's a lot, right? As a woman entrepreneur, it's really more difficult, no, to be able to gather support, for example, when it comes to your projects and initiatives. But let me just cite to you a specific situation or scenario where I had to encounter an obstacle, a challenge, or a failure, no, in my entrepreneurial journey. Way back in 2018, I was given the chance to go to the US for the YSEALI, or Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative program on social entrepreneurship and economic development. I was in the University of Connecticut, and for 5 weeks, I worked on the Bayanivation project. So Bayanivation is actually equivalent to bayan or town in the Philippines, innovation, and then nation, right? I was so excited about my project. I designed the program, no, during the course of my fellowship. And I was so happy because I had the expectation that the mayors, the network of mayors and public servants that I work with, because of my work before at DICT in government, would support me for this idea. No, I was very hopeful that they would adopt this program in their locality. Unfortunately, when I returned home and I was talking to a lot of mayors, I was pitching this idea of bringing design thinking in how we design policies, programs, and services in local governments. No one paid attention. I was ignored, right? And I was very disheartened in the beginning because the language that I was speaking was very foreign to them. They didn't understand the concept of design thinking or how innovation is more than just building apps or websites, no? And at the same time, we didn't had any source of funding, no, to run this project. No? So those are the two main challenges that I encountered early on in my entrepreneurial journey. So the lack of funding, right? And the lack of support. Being a woman entrepreneur is even more difficult, right? You're not being taken seriously, especially by government officials, you know. When I was disheartened, I was very determined to turn my vision into reality. And so I had to look for other sources of funding for this concept or project idea that I had in mind. No? I applied for several grants, and we were very fortunate because we were able to win the US ASEAN Alumni Engagement Innovation Fund in 2019. In fact, we were the only one in the Philippines who got the funding in that year. And because of that fund, we were able to pilot Bayanivation into 3 local government units in the Philippines. That includes Pasig City, Sipalay City, Del Carmen, Siargao, we were able to train hundreds of public servants or local government employees on the importance of human-centered design or design thinking. And this actually led to the creation of more than 20 innovative project ideas, no, by our participants and stakeholders. So from that early experiences in my entrepreneurial journey, I would say that I have three main learnings, no, when it comes to these difficulties. So number one would be, of course, to find a community of supporters, champions, and collaborators, because it's difficult to do our development work if we're trying to do it alone. So we really need a support system. We need like-minded people who will be open to giving us opportunities and who will also give us constructive feedback, no, on the work that we're doing. The second, of course, is to just don't give up, no, and continuously look for opportunities, because as they say in the startup or entrepreneurial world, if you're not getting enough rejections, then that means you're not trying too hard, no. And I had a lot of rejections in my life, and I guess that means I'm just, like applying and pitching a lot, no. So to not take rejections too seriously. And then, of course, lastly would be the growth mindset, right? As a design thinker, we always teach our students or design thinking learners that to be an innovator is to be someone who can turn a challenge into an opportunity. Someone who doesn't consider failure as failure, but rather as a learning point, or an opportunity to learn. Yeah. So those are the three main things I learned early on in my entrepreneurial journey. And I'm sure if I'm able to take part in this program, I'll be able to learn more. I'll be able to scale our impact at Limitless Lab, and of course, to be able to empower my team as well, as I re-echo, the things that I will learn at the program. Thank you so much.